bit you have him in, because that's exactly the same bit I have my Summer in, because there's a little bit, they're light in the connection, but they sometimes can also be a little chunky on the bit. And so it takes a little while to like teach them how to like draw onto the bit. He's got pretty darn good hind legs, so that's step one, you know, of like connect to the bit right. So let's go back to the trot and let me just see him a little bit. And yeah, I mean, he'll probably only be a half hour. Because good. Very good. Keep the tempo. Keep the tempo. Not there. That's where I like it. Not that I want you to rush him around, because I'm not a big fan of like more forward, you know, but it's like I want him to be active, and I want the hind legs to like really travel up under the body so that he's not like lollygagging around too much. Good. Oh, yeah. Good, don't let him overflex. Good. Good, and then straight ahead. Good, and be careful of the, Michael Klemke always warns me about the middle neck. He's like, be careful about the middle neck position. It's not up and it's not stretching. It's just this like neutral yucky spot that he's not, you either want to open his throat latch more or you want to bring his pole up more. Good. Yes. Yeah. Because he's got this big hind leg, and I want him to learn to bring his knees up a little bit. And so if his neck is down and always in the way and he's always behind the vertical, he's going to shut down his front legs a little bit. Yeah, I like that better. Good. That's a tiny bit quick. Good. That's an honest mistake. Good. Good. Thinking about his pull up. Don't let him pull down like that. So, yep. Exactly. And that's really like a balance thing. Good. Keep cantering. I love cantering. Good. Straight ahead. Good. Keep your elbows quiet. Short rein. Good. Put him a little bit more through. Tiny bit through the outside rein. And it's hard because this Sandro hit mouth is like, oh, I don't want too much contact. Good. That's a beautiful frame. Good. And then keep the canter, keep the canter, keep the canter. He's got his shoulders a little bit to the right. And so then it gets a little bit, I like that better. Yeah, like the rhythm isn't quite, like he rushes to the ground a little bit, and then the inside hind leg and outside front leg don't always totally match. So you want to keep bringing, even if it's a little bit outside leg, outside rein, to keep that alignment so that he gets a little, it's like, it's a little soft in the rhythm. Does that make sense? Where he's not, exactly, he's not really got enough volume there. Good. Yeah, good job. Good. I like that better. I like that better. Good. And sometimes thinking about like sitting a little bit on also the outside seat bone too, so that he can weight the right hind leg and really separate the left hind leg from the right hind leg. Yes. 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 So it's almost right leg, right seat bone, right rein as you send him forward in that left leg. Good. Back to the trot. Hind legs, hind legs, hind legs, hind legs. Nice. Pull up, because you're going to curl up and just be hiding a little bit. Good. Good. See the top of his bridle. Good. As Walter Zettel, God rest his soul, he would say, up in heaven. Up in heaven, up and out, up and out. Good. Yeah, yeah. There. Good. There. Nice. Walk and a little rest. Good. Walking, walking. Yep. So that little dropping of the bit and like I'm not walking through my shoulders, I would nip it in the bud already. Very good. Yep, exactly. You know, and that's like what they can't take, you know, for a half hour and 45 minutes is like, I don't want to call it the nagging, but it's like, you know, like how long do kindergartners like sit in chairs and do crafts? Like I don't think very long. You know, no, because it's like time for recess or time for a nap or let's play with the blocks, you know, whatever. And so it's like, you know, you want to keep him like excited about the work and interested, and you know that he also then keeps his neck up and his ears up and you know looking around, so that it's not like, ugh, you know, because it's easy for him to get a little bit down and not balled up in front, but like he's not like this horse. You know, like whose horse? It's Cynthia's horse. He is like, ta-da! You know, he's like up and just, you know, which is why he's also super spooky. This one's more like this. You know, he wants to be in and he's pretty comfortable with everything
And they wrote it that way.
well, and he's gonna go that way. And I mean, Ulf Muller, who we were talking about, and is a friend of mine, rode Sandro Hit, and he was like, I think answered Donner Hall, and he was like, yeah, I finally just had to like take a hold of his face and just fight with him for a week to get him to take the contact. And I'm like, okay, so my chestnut mare is not gonna tolerate that. So, you know, they're under a time constraint because they need those stallions to like show up and be amazing and dazzle everyone and win the Bundeschampionat and all that crap so that they can get a lot of money and they go for breeding and we have nice horses to ride. But this mouth, I like it because I like light mouths, but it's a shy mouth, you know, so he's always going to be a little bit like turtling in a little bit. So the more you can teach him to be like big and proud with his shoulders, the more it's going to help him like land into your hand in a good way. Like a loose ring snaffle was like chompity chomp 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 with my mare. You know, it was like give me an egg bud, quiet this thing down, and teach her to just go to the contact. But it could have never been like grab a hold and let him bite his chest for a week and just keep sending them forward. Like that's a little bit the German way, and horses with this kind of mouth, you know, need to get a little bit more Walter Zettel. And then eventually Charles de Comfy, where it's like you're gonna make him so powerful and loose that he's just gonna like, whew, he's just gonna fill up that bit. But as a 4-year-old, it's kind of hard because there's like no power there yet. So let's go back to work and then we'll look at that right lead. I want to look at that trot because he's so easy to go on the bit. You know, he's so easy to be around. You know, for all the ones that didn't want to go on the bit, it's like yay. Good. Trot, babe, trot, babe. Active, but not hectic. And active without rushing him past his point of balance. Good. But keep his pole up there, up there. So he's like actually like in a more longitudinal, like higher balance. Yes. Good. So like, nope. Yep. And so you can try two things when he overflexes like that. One, just like what you did, is just like drive forward and give him a little up and, you know, that's a Walter Zettel. Like, Allow them to go forward. And then like it's the little like up and off, like up and soft, like up and soft, and up and soft. That's option 1. Option 2 is Charles the Comfy, which is the recipe for overflexion is slow down, abruptly give, and drive inside leg. So it's like a 3-step slow down, give, drive. So that your inside leg starts to really like put them up on the bit. For me, you kind of just gotta play with both kinds of like what, if you can keep it simple and just like up and out and drive him with the inside leg, like that's great. He frames up in a really good place in the canter. So I would do a lot of canter. And he's got a little bit of a belly, so I also more cantering. Good, uphill, uphill, uphill. Good, it's a little bit like the adolescent pudge. Good, up, 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 up. Good, and let your hands be a little closer together. I don't want them like empty and not available in the connection, but whenever a horse doesn't want to go on the bit, we always widen the hands. When they want to be behind the vertical, you want to close the hands together. Good. And then just make them a little bit feel your right ring finger. So that, like what we talked about earlier in Erica's ride, it was like the Germans actually say, like, pick up the canter onto the right rein. Good. Very good. Up, up, up. Good. Back to the trot. Up, up, up. Up, 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 up. Good. Without rushing. That's now a tiny bit too fast. Up and rhythm. Up and rhythm. Pull up. Shoulder up. Up and rhythm. Up and rhythm. Good. Good. Change rein on the diagonal. Keep that rhythm. Keep that rhythm. Soft bend in your elbow. Keep that rhythm. Keep that rhythm. Keep him a little bit straighter to the right shoulder because he loves his left bend. Now he's overflexed. Shorten your reins. And if you want to stretch him down, by all means, take a circle, stretch him down. But be careful you don't get lost in the gray zone of like I'm sort of half stretching and I'm sort of half not. And a horse like this with a nice easy mouth, it's easy to just kind of like let him be there. But I'll save you the money to ride with Michael Klemke, who's going to be like, get out of the gray, get out of the middle neck. And I'm like, I felt pretty good here. And he's like, oh, pull up or pull down, but not in between. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's easy to ride around a horse like that in the neck and be like, oh, it feels pretty good. But it's like, if he's behind the vertical, nope, he's not really using his muscles. Good, yes. Good, and back to left canter. Good. Left leg a little farther forward. Keep the canter, keep the canter. Move his shoulders to the left. Even if down the long side, you're just gonna like leg yield in a couple steps. Let's do that on the next long side. Just be like, what if I drove you and I flexed you right and I sent your shoulders in? Yes, yes. Good, do that again. Canter, 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 canter. Yes, because he needs to open, there you go. He needs, that's okay. Good, uphill, not running. Good. Uphill, uphill, walk and take a little break. Up, 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 up. Good. Long range. But walking forward. Walking forward. He can't drop his neck without walking forward. Does that make sense? Because there's already a little like, you know, a little like tiny quit in the shoulders. And that's, you know, I'm glad it's not a quit in the hind legs, but he's got those nice big Negro haunches, which is great. But he has a real nice softness to him. But again, sometimes that's like the droppable neck. You know, he's like, oh, my withers are aching. You know.